Hey guys, so in today's video I have a big haul to share with you guys. On this side over here I have my Sephora VIB Rouge Sale. So I want to share what I picked up from Sephora while the sale was going on with you guys. And over here I also have a small bag from Ulta, not a big deal, but during the 21 days of Ulta Beauty, I had acquired quite a bit of points, so I had some money to spend at Ulta for free. So I want to share that with you guys as well. See if you guys wanted to check out the products I found at Ulta, as well as Sephora. So anyway, as before I blah, 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 on and on and on, let's get into the video. If you guys are interested in seeing what I picked up at Sephora and what I picked up at Ulta, just stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, I have three separate kind of parcels from Sephora. I've got two different size shopping bags and a box. So, and then from Ulta, I have just this little baggie. So let's go ahead and start with Ulta. So from Ulta, I wanted to pick up the HD High Definition Pro Concealer from LA Girl. I'd heard some good things about this concealer, and I've never tried LA Girl products, so I figured I'd pick this up. It was not expensive. And I also, in the same kind of light, picked up this Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I picked this up in the shade 00 Light Natural, and I picked this one up, I think this one had a very small shade range, but I picked this up in Porcelain. So one is a little bit more like, looks like a cooler undertone. This one's a little bit warmer. So figure I'll give these a try, see if these are some great options from the drugstore. I've heard so many good things about the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. This one is in 800 Very Black. I want to give this a try. I have plenty of mascara. The last thing I need is another mascara, but the last thing I really need, honestly, is more makeup. But here we are. You know, I was just doing the Marc Jacobs mascara for so long, and I have so many to try that I'm thinking maybe I want to like open up a couple at a time. I don't know, and kind of maybe like circulate them so I'm not stuck with one mascara for forever. I do have the Essence Lash Princess, I believe is the name of it, going right now. So that's what I've been sticking with. One thing I will say that I don't care for about that mascara is the last couple times I've used it, I've totally somehow ended up with, I guess, fallout from that mascara under my eyes, like randomly, just this eye, which is odd. So it might be a formula thing. I want to keep trying it because I really like the way that it separates and lengthens my lashes, and I think it really coats them well. I love that. I don't know, it's giving me that little under eye fallout situation, so we'll see. I also picked up a small sample of the, well, not small, I guess it would be like the deluxe size, of the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I've heard so many good things and I've never tried it. I had held off on purchasing the smaller one before because I'm like, this is such a waste of money. If you just buy the full size, I think it's like 3 of these for the price of 2 of them or something. It's a total waste, but I just haven't felt like spending the $30-something for the full-size product. So I'm like, you know what, just give it a whirl and then you'll know. And you know, I have a bunch of setting sprays. This might take me a little bit to go through, we'll see. But I finally succumbed and I want to try this. I also have heard really good things about the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation. I also don't need more foundation. I have so much foundation. But I was so excited to try this, and I've heard like mixing this with other foundations can be a beautiful combination, which maybe we'll get into a little bit later in this video. It's a luminous makeup, nude skin feel. And this I think was like maybe like the second lightest color that they had. I think maybe it was the lightest one. I'm not really sure. I can't find it on here. I just kind of picked it out of the little rack. But anyway, we're gonna give this a try. I already have the concealer for this as well upstairs, so I'll probably put them all together. You know how I like to do one brand base makeup sometimes, kind of see how the products work together. So I wanted to pick this up for that, and I've heard good things. So now we have fun stuff left. So I picked up finally NARS Orgasm Blush. I actually don't own this. Well, kind of I did and kind of I didn't, but we'll get into that. So anyway, I was really excited. I'm like, look, I have these points. This is stuff that I normally would be like, oh my gosh, 30 bucks for a blush. That's really expensive. But when it's points and it's like free money, kind of, I'm like, and I have so much makeup. It's not like I'm like, oh, well, if I could spend 30 bucks on this blush, or I could get the foundation, concealer, and powder that I really need. Like, I don't need anything. So like, if I have free points, I want to get stuff that I wouldn't want to spend my own money on, but that I want. So okay, let's not do that. Let's not have that happen today. So NARS Orgasm Blush, and that's the color. That's the Orgasm Blush there. So it's a really pretty pinky peach color. It's a cult favorite. I didn't own it. I'm like, girl, you can't have a makeup collection without NARS Orgasm. Well, my makeup collection could not be without this blush. So I'm excited to tap into this and try it and see what the fuss has been all about. I'm not gonna do a lot of swatching in this video because it would take me forever. I have so many products to go through and I don't want this to be super long. If you see anything that looks interesting to you, I can certainly do a dedicated video, give you guys my feedback, let you know, maybe put in a shop my stash and give you feedback that way. So just let me know what you have in mind. So I also got the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I've heard so many good things about this. I got mine in the shade Light 2.5 Creme Brulee. And this looked to be a little bit more like the neutral pinky side, not so yellowy. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I've heard so many good things about NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I really wanted to pick it up during the Sephora VIB Rouge Sale, but I'm like, wait, Ulta sells NARS too. I have points on deck. I'm gonna do my NARS shopping at Ulta. And then my last little NARS splurge was the NARS Exposed Cheek Palette. So I've heard that some folks don't care for this because it's a little bit, I think, light. But I know Nakia Joy reviewed this and she loved it, and I watched her dupes video on duping this product and she's like, this is such a great product, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to know if this was like something that was worth my money. So I trust her opinion a lot, and we'll see. I hope I like it. I did swatch it in store. Some colors seemed a little bit light. Other colors seemed really beautiful, but there she is. So this highlight up here was really pretty. Let me flip this over. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this little highlighter here was really beautiful when I swatched it in store. Just had a very like light wash, but like a pigmented wash, but not like a streaky wash. These colors here fit up very well. Very pigmented. This little guy, I had a little bit of a hard time getting to show up, but I think he's gonna be beautiful, and he's like my favorite one in the palette. So hopefully he shows up. I just might have to build it up a little bit. But I kind of like to be a little heavy-handed sometimes, so that might not be a problem for me. And then I have these two pinks here. So lots of pretty colors. I don't have a lot of NARS products. I wanted to kind of build my collection while I have an opportunity to with the point situation. And then the last Ulta product that I got was actually this Flower Light Illusion powder. I picked up the foundation, I already own the concealer, and now I have the powder as well. So I'm excited to do a full face of Flower Beauty. And I know Andrea did rave about this in a recent video as well. So I'm like, yeah, let me pick that up too. So that was my Ulta points haul. The concealers I picked up on my own, as well as I went over my points a teensy bit. So like these I picked up.
How did you get them?
Oh my God. Forgive me. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. So these guys I picked up to basically get to the end of my 2,000 points, as well as the flower powder and the mascara and the setting spray were pretty much out of pocket. But most of it was points. The NARS stuff was definitely points, and maybe a little bit of the setting spray. So this little guy is finished. It's everything I got from Ulta. And then let's get into Sephora. So 3 bags. We'll start with this big one. Okay, so this was my last trip to Sephora. The box is my first one, so that was like everything I desperately wanted. And then this was like, this little bag here is some of the minis that I really, really wanted. And this was like, oh my gosh, the sale's about to be over. There's a couple more things I need. So, yeah, lots of Sephora. But it's like, twice a year. So, as long as it's controlled splurging, I feel, and it's responsible spending, then I think it's okay. So anyway, I picked up the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer, the full-size version. I have the mini, and I finally got to test it at my Shop My Stash last week, and I fell in love with it. I finally understood what the hype was about. Now, I have dry skin, so this may not work for my particular skin in an all-over application, but if you have issues with your makeup breaking up or oil seeping through, I find that using this in the T-zone was a game changer for me. It really worked to fill in my pores, and I just love the results. And that little tiny one I had was just not gonna be enough. I'm like, I need you with me all day, every day. Little Tatcha primer. I needed to get the big one. I also picked up, so this is what I meant when I said I didn't have the Orgasm blush. So with this last trip, this was an option for me to get for 100 points. So I got the little mini Orgasm blush, which we just looked at the full size. This is just a little baby one. But I thought this would be perfect for my purse. And I'm like, you know what? I think I have like, I don't even know, maybe 2,000 points there or something like that. So, or maybe more than that, I'm not even positive, but there wasn't anything that like reached out and grabbed me, and I wanted to be able to kind of, if there is something down the road that's like a 500 or 700 point product or something that I really want, I wanted to have some points for that. But I'm like, for 100 points, I can totally swing that. So I got this little NARS Orgasm blush, and a lot of times I think the small little 100 point products are the ones that are more exciting. The last time I did it, I got the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, which I love. Then I also picked up this. Now, I blame Kendall for this one. Thank you, Kendall. I saw her video on, I believe it was a comparison between the Patrick Ta body oils versus the Fenty Trophy Wife. And then she mentioned kind of like this was one that she loved in terms of a body oil. And she said, this is kind of what a body oil should do. So I was like, let me check that out. And this is by
Sol de
Janeiro. That's so hard to say for me. I don't know why it's such a tongue twister. It shouldn't be. Sol de Janeiro. Oh God, send help. So this is the Goldie Rocks Glow Oil. And I tried this in store. I was between this one and the more bronze one. And I just fell in love with this. It is like a little pump, and you just pump a little bit out. And I'll show you guys. Okay. So you have this little kind of like sheery stuff, and then you can just like, oh, it smells amazing. But I love the idea of this for summer, and also like you can see like when you have makeup on but you don't have makeup on your chest, like I feel like it kind of gives that little bit of like a masky thing where like your face looks kind of shiny but your body doesn't. And sometimes I'll highlight my collarbones, but this smells like literally delicious. It gives such a nice effect to the body, and it smells incredible. It's beautiful, and I'm in love with it. So Glow Motions, Rio de Janeiro, Goldie Rocks Glow Oil, and it's just like shimmery perfection. So thank you, Kendall. I am obsessed. I stan. Okay. So that was, oh, nope. So shout out to my girl Amanda. So how many blue palettes do we need? Hashtag all of them. So Amanda and I were having a fun conversation where I was contemplating, you know, I'd picked up some other things, and I'm like, well, I kind of was thinking of the Sapphire Huda palette, the Sapphire Obsessions from Huda Beauty. Sorry, it is Huda. I always say Huda Beauty. And I was talking to Amanda, and I'm like, she's like trying to help me talk myself off a cliff, right? And so I'm like, oh, I really want the Sapphire palette, but I do have the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette, and that one pretty much, I mean, how many blue palettes do I need? She's like, true. And I was like, oh, you know, hashtag all of them. She totally agreed. So we're two birds of the same feather, but I actually did come across this in my local Sephora. I'd gone into the Sephora by work for bag number 2. Bag number 3 was from my local Sephora. And they actually had this. So I was like, mine. So very excited to have this little Huda Beauty Sapphire Obsessions palette. It is just a stunning array of beautiful blues, and I'm stoked to try it. All right, so now getting into this smaller Sephora bag. This was like my little dash through the mini section. I was like, I want all the minis. So we'll just pull some out. So I picked up the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions palette. You know, just keep the little train rolling. So there's the green palette, the Emerald Obsessions. Topaz Obsessions. We have this beautiful color story here. The Amethyst Obsessions palette. So now I have the Smoky Obsessions, and then the Topaz, Emerald, Sapphire, and Amethyst. So 5 of these little Huda Beauty Obsession palettes. So next in my little bag of tricks, I picked up the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I did get this in ebony. It looks like a dark brown though, so I'm hoping it'll work for my eyebrows. I was just really dying to try the dip brow gel, so we'll see how it works. And of course, y'all know I could not be without my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir little mascara. And the last mini I had lasted me like 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, around there. I missed you, little friend. I'm gonna of course tap on him much later after I get through my other ones, but I'm happy to have him back in my life. Then I also picked up the Pat McGrath Mini Matte Trance. So 3 little lipsticks in here. It's the Skin Show Trio, and it shows you the 3 colors right here on the front of the lipsticks, and they have like a little bit of like sequins inside there, so it's gonna probably be very messy when I go to open it. So we're gonna leave it in its package for now, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the colors are gonna be these nudes right here. And of course I'll have them in other videos, shop my stashes and such. I also picked up the Hourglass Veil. This is the mineral primer. I have the Hourglass Stick Foundation currently. Didn't really have any other Hourglass things, so as I'm dropping stuff. This is the little primer here. It's just a small deluxe size, but it gives me a chance to give it a whirl and try it. And since I have their foundation, I think it would be kind of cool to see what the primer's like underneath of their foundation. And then last but not least, from this little minis bag, I picked up the Hourglass Caution mascara. I've heard so many good things. And actually my friend Denise's little sister, Lexi, said this is her holy grail mascara. And she actually works at Sephora, so she's loving this and I was so excited. I was already excited to try it, but after she said it was her holy grail, I'm even more excited to try this mascara. Then last but not least, we have this little treasure box from Sephora. So many treasures. I got the Laneige lip sleeping mask that I mentioned I had a sample from at Sephora. Loved it so much that I wanted to get it for the full size version while it was on sale. It's a pretty good size. And the full size actually is supposed to come with like a little spatula, which the mini one does not have. And actually, another friend of mine from a women's group I belong to, Saber, actually recommended this to our little group as well. So I was so excited. I was like, yes, Saber, she is like the queen of skincare. She is my Obi-Wan Kenobi for skincare. So thank you, Saber. Picked up myself a full size. And then it comes with a little spatula here. So very cute. And it's just so super creamy. I have like dry lips and just putting this on helps so much. Fenty Beauty, I got the Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighting Duo. This one I saw on Sandra Deluxe and it looked so sickening on her. She looked so stunning. I love her videos so much. Really cute packaging, little stop sign, and the front of it's kind of like almost holographic. Mo Honey and Afternoon Snack. Cannot wait. This is Afternoon Snack on this side and that's Mo Honey. But these looked so beautiful on her and I'm like, I have to try these. They are stunning. I had to try it. And when I swatched it in store, it looked beautiful on my skin. I think it's the kind of color that would be very universally flattering. I also from Fenty Beauty bought, this is this was something I kind of just dreamed about when I first saw it. It was when I very first got into makeup and I touched it and it was like, I could hear like angels singing. This is How Many Carats? And it is definitely glittery. The package is glittery. And that is the gorgeous highlighter. It is basically like heaven. All right, I'm not gonna swatch a lot, but I will swatch this. Do you see how it's basically just sheer, but it just like adds a shimmery layer of silvery, glittery beautifulness on your skin? It is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so obsessed with it. Cannot wait to try this. And I'm so happy that I finally own it after just dreaming about it for months. Next, I got the Patrick Ta for Face. This is the Gold Pearl Major Glow Hydrating Mist. So I'm going to probably use some of this. This is We Need Her. That's the shade. And I saw this reviewed. Kathleen Lights reviewed this. I also saw Samantha Ravindell actually after I'd purchased it review it. But I'm still excited to have it. I'm gonna use it sparingly because there's not a ton in here. This is only 1.6 ounces, but it's basically a spray-on highlighter. And I think I'm probably going to focus it, like I might use it on my face a little bit here and there, but I think I might focus it like on my chest a little bit, like along with the Rio de Janeiro glow oil that we already discussed. And then I also picked up, I saw this, Leora picked this up, and when I saw it on her, I like about died. I was like, yep, you're going in my cart. This is the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. I was a VIB before the sale, and now I'm a Rouge, so I had to wait till the second part of this, like second chunk of days of the sale to actually shop. Not no mo. It's got real gold in it, as you can see. This is just beautiful. When she sprayed it on, it was really like glimmery. Let's try. Come on, babe. Come on, Farsali, come through. Like literally come through. Yay. Ooh. It smells really good. You can see that shine I just put. It's like, what? What? So I'm so excited to have this. You can just kind of collarbone it up. So shiny. Not complaining. And this smells really good. So, I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I also picked up the Fenty In the Sun bronzer. I was like, so much Fenty, yes. So this is the lightest shade of the bronzers. Looks like that. Super stoked to try this. I've heard so many good things about the Fenty bronzers. And then I also picked up the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Pro Filter Foundation in 150. So I've not heard the best things about this foundation with dry skin, so I had never reached for it before. It's a very matte foundation, but I've heard folks mixing this with Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation to get it to kind of last longer. I actually have that and I love it. It's really pretty, but after a few hours, it's like smearing all over my face. So I'm hoping this will give it some staying power. And I've also heard mixing this with that Flower Beauty foundation I picked up from Ulta yields beautiful results. So this I pretty much bought as a mixer for other foundations to make them work better, to get a chance to try Fenty in a way that'll work for my skin. So I'm really excited about that. Next, I picked up the Guerlain Lingerie de Peau. This is a foundation that Leora was swearing by. This has like been one of her favorites recently. And I was like, when that VIB Rouge Sale comes, I want to pick it up because I have got to try it. She's just said so many wonderful things about it. So this is in the shade 02N. Cannot wait to give this a whirl. And Leora also has dry skin. So if the product is working for her skin, it has a better chance of working for mine since I have dry skin as well. Then I picked up quite a bit of Hourglass. It was like Hourglass and Fentylicious this sale. So this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush, just a little one. I wanted to be able to give them a try. So I picked up this blush in Luminous Flush. Picked up the bronzer as well in Diffused Bronze Light. Really beautiful packaging. And it looks like that. So a little bit more like special occasion makeup, but or filming, you know. Full face of Hourglass, you know, feeling that. The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. This I actually want to watch some videos on. It's so beautiful that I had to have it, and I also wanted their previous palette that was a limited edition and I didn't get it. So I wanted a palette from them, and I've heard rave reviews about this one, but I want to watch a video on it, on like how best to use it, because I believe you can use all of these colors on different parts of your face to create this beautiful like airbrushed look. So very excited to tap into these, but I want to get a little bit more deets from some pros on how best to use this. I also picked up the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. I love concealer. I know it's kind of like a boring product, but just freaking love it. So this is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer, and it's supposed to be very good. So I will be able to test it on my skin, see if it works for me, see what I think about it, see if I love it. I also picked up, finally, another product I kept hearing. It was like the FOMO box right here. That's the FOMO box. It was like so many products that I'd heard about and lusted after for so long, and I'm like, you will be mine. You will finally be mine. The Monsignor Big by Lancome mascara. This I've heard like people, this is like people's holy grail. They love it. It's like their ride or die mascara. So really pretty packaging. I also picked up the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer, and this is the Coconut Perfect Tan in Tantastic. So I'm like, this feels like a coming of age thing for me. I'm like, just to have this in my collection, I'm like, oh, you know, here we go. So we have this Tantastic bronzer and this beautiful packaging. It's just gorgeous. It's so sleek and just, sleek and chic. I love it. It's very pricey, so I would never normally pick this up. But when it's on sale, is the time that you can say, okay, if I'm ever gonna have it, now is the time to get it. The last thing I picked up was this Jouer Beaucoup d'Amour, so Bouquet of Love, little blush palette. And these colors are so pretty. And I feel like with a lot of blush palettes, it's like they include like highlighters and bronzers and like not just a blush palette. And this is just a blush palette. So we have all of these stunning colors, and I've heard nothing but good things about this palette. Like I was like, you know what? This is getting added to my cart. I don't have that much Jouer. I had purchased a foundation and I did return it. It was just not the right coverage for my skin. It was a little too thick and a little too light. And so I'm like trying this with the Jouer and as well as the concealer. So we'll see what our thoughts are on Jouer. But I just love this. I thought it was so beautiful. And I think the colors are so unique. I'm especially excited about this kind of plummy color and then this like real bright orange, like glittery orange color. So I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this blush palette. That was everything. It's a lot of makeup. There's a lot of makeup. I have only an Alex 5 drawer and some acrylic drawers. So like, you know, I gotta work with what I've got. And I have limited, obviously, money in my bank account, so I gotta work with that as well. I was really excited about these purchases. I was excited to kind of just wow out, you know? Sometimes you just gotta wow out and get everything you ever wanted, and that's what I did. So I didn't investigate much skincare because I have a lot of skincare and I knew I had the boxy skincare box coming, so. And I didn't get any hair products because I'm typically a TJ Maxx for that. I wanted to get the stuff that I just normally wouldn't get, instead of like getting like refills of stuff that I would get. I feel like the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty was a little bit more of like refilling products or experimenting with new things. This was all just like, girl, like what have you always wanted? So very excited to have these, excited to finally put them into my collection and have them in my stash and give them a whirl and plan videos. I hope it was fun for you. I'd love to know what you guys picked up during the Sephora sale or just randomly, or wherever you shop, whatever you're excited about. I'd love to hear about it. I love show and tell. I will talk to you guys soon. I love you all. Bye-bye.